Hi, it's Vic. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be sharing this super fun card with you. So for my card today, I've actually gone ahead and used my silhouette machine, and this is I think it's a Laurie Whitlock cutting file. You can use this on any electronic cutting machine, and I wanted to use a SVG file because I just love the 3D cards. So what I'm doing here, I've got the side part of the cupcake box, so I'm just using some Distress ink and a Time for Tea beautiful blender brush, and my Distress ink is Vintage Photo, so I'm just going in quite lightly with this colour as it's quite dark. And now I'm just placing them little parts onto my card, and I've got some PVA glue, so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere these pieces down. And this box comes with the score line, so it's super easy to fold, and this was actually really easy to put together. So some of the boxes I've done before, they're quite complicated. I found them complicated anyway. So now I'm going to go and colour in these two pieces, and I'm using some Distress ink again, and I've got my beautiful blender brush from Time for Tea Designs. You can go ahead and use coloured card if you like. I personally find it easier just using white cards and then colouring it with the ink, because sometimes I end up wasting so much card that I've cut out on my silhouette. So this is the easier option for me. So I've used worn lipstick Distress ink, and now I'm just going in with some cracked pistachio ink. So I wanted to have like a pink and green ice cream. And then I haven't gone over the little tabs because I'm going to be gluing them to the sides of the box. And now I have the piece that goes on top, so I'm just using some more PVA glue and I'm just adhering them down together. So once both pieces have been adhered down, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my box. So I'm adding plenty of PVA glue, and then I'm just securing that flap part down, and I'm pinching quite hard just to make sure that the glue adheres together. And then for my ice cream tops, I personally found it easier to put the glue on both sides and then just pop it into the box and squeeze each side. And then I'm going to do exactly the same for the green ice cream. And once this is done, that is the card base complete. So I did, like I said earlier, I did find this one really easy to put together. So if you have a cutting machine, I do recommend getting this cutting file because it's super easy to use. So as this is an ice cream card, I had to use the Sunday Sweeties stamp set. These images are just so sweet. So I've got some Copic friendly cardstock and some Memento ink, and I'm just checking that the image fits nicely onto my card there. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp out all my images. So I'm stamping 3 images today, and on the actual stamp set there is extra images. There's one with just a separate cherry and then some with sprinkles, but I've just used the 3 main images today. And I think this mouse that's holding the cherry that I'm going to stamp in a second, I think that's probably my favourite image out of all of them, although they're all just so sweet. So I had to use the mouse. So now I'm moving on to my Copic Coloring, and I'm just quickly whizzing through my colouring today. And I've chosen some quite bright colours, but also ones that remind me of ice cream. So I don't know if you remember them old-fashioned bowls from the 80s. That ice cream bowl reminds me of that, and it just makes me smile each time I see it. So I've gone and used like the green colour. I'm sure they used to come in green. And then the other images, I'm just using for the cats, I've just used simple colours, and I've done pretty simple colouring on the one that's holding the ice cream. once my images are coloured, I'm going in with the Jelly Roll pen and I'm just going to add some highlights to the cherries and to some of the ice creams, and then I'm going in with the R20 Copic marker for the blush and then just adding a couple of highlights to their cheeks. And now I have the coordinating dies, so I'm just securing these down with some washi tape, and then I'm going to go ahead and quickly run them through my die cutting machine. And then for my sentiment, this is one of my favourite stamp sets. It's the Treat Yourself stamp set, and I love that greeting where it says birthday calories don't count. I thought it'd be perfect for this card. So I'm just going ahead and prepping some cardstock, and I've got some Versamark ink, so I'm going to stamp my image down, and then I'm using white embossing powder, and then I'm going to go ahead and heat this up with my heat gun. And my blue card is Papermilldirect and it's Turquoise Cumbria card, and I love this colour. It just reminds me of summer and I just love adding it to my cards. So once I've heat embossed my sentiment, I'm just going to go ahead and trim my sentiment down. So I have this little Fiskars trimmer which I find really handy, and then once that is trimmed down, I'm going to go ahead and start putting the images onto my card. So I'm just using 3D foam tape to adhere my critters down. And for my sentiment, I wanted it to look like it was floating, so I've got some acetate card and I'm just going to trim a strip down, and then I'm going to add some double-sided tape onto the top part of the acetate, and then I'm going to adhere my sentiment down, and then once that part is trimmed down, I'm just checking to see how much I need trimming off the end, and then I'm going to place some more double-sided tape and just stick that into the front part of the card. And now I'm just adding the mouse, and that is the finished card. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you did, and thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.